Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Speaker, I think we have had a most fruitful crosstalk in the House today with the benefit of Mr. President's comments regarding his intentions to...
Order, please. Deputy Chairman of Committees will take the chair.
Honourable Member, please continue.
Yes, Mr. Deputy Chairman of Committees, I was commenting that the benefit of Mr. President's comments have resulted in achieving some type of consensus in the House. But then, we must also comment that talking about the former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga's proposals, Honorable Mahinda Rajapaksa too was in her government then as a minister. That proposal was designed as union of regions. Now we are not worried about the terminology here. The constitutional terminology is not the issue. It's a question of sharing power both at the center and at the regions. Now, if we can come to a collective understanding and put an end to this whole issue, and this is a golden opportunity for us to achieve that consensus. So let us not be misled by unnecessary controversy relating to different constitutional concepts, but the intention of devolving power is what is important. Having said that, now let me deal with the committee stage issues of the vote relating to the President. Now, EA api අවසාන කතාව අලිසබ්‍රි අමාත්‍යතුමා කරද්දී හොඳ උද්‍යෝගමත් කතාවක් කළා. ඇත්ත වශයෙන්ම මේක දෛවීය සරදමක්. එතුමා මංගල සමරවීර අමාත්‍යතුමන් ගැන සඳහන් කළා. වටිනාව උපුටා ගැනීම් කීපයක් කරා අපේ ජනාධිපතිතුමා පිළිබඳව. The President, one day this country will regret about the President who was never to be. And that was the way in which late Mangala Samaravira referred to the current President. දැන් මම කලින් කියලා තියෙනවා අපේ අලිසබ්රි අමාත්‍යතුමා පිළිබඳව නිකන් හාස්‍යජනක විදිහට කිව්වහම කලින් එතුමා දරපු අමාත්‍යාංශයේ යුක්තියක් නැති රටක අධිකරණ ඇමති. ඊට පස්සේ මුදල් නැති රටක මුදල් ඇමති වෙලා හිටියා. දැන් ඉතින් විදේශ ප්‍රතිපත්තියක් නැති රටක විදේශ ඇමති දන්නේ නැහැ. නමුත් එතරම් දුරට මම යන්නේ නැහැ ඒක විවේචනය කරන්න. නමුත් මේ නෑ එතුමා ගැන මම විවේචන නෙවෙයි කරන්නේ. නමුත් එතුමා ඉතින් මේක දෛවීය සරදම කියලා කියන්නේ. මේ විදිහට අපේ වර්තමාන ජනාධිපතිතුමන්ව විවේචනය කරපු අය මංගල සමරවීර මැතිතුමත් එහෙමයි. කාලයේදී විවේචනය කරා. ඉතින් නමුත් අපිත් එතුමත් එක්ක හිටිද්දී දැන් මට මතකයට එනවා දවස් 52 සිද්ධිය. මේ සම්පූර්ණ ව්‍යවස්ථාව උල්ලංඝනය කරමින් බලය උදුරගෙන ඇවිත් ඔන්න වෙන පාර්ශවයකට බාර දුන්නා. ඉතින් ඒ පිළිබඳව උසාවියට ගියා. උසාවි තීරණයක් ආවා. ඉතින් දැන් ඒවා ගැන දැන් ඔක්කොටම අමතකයි. දැන් ඒ වෙලේ අපි මෙතුමත් එක්ක හිටගත්තා. ඉතින් ඊට පස්සේ මැතිවරණයක් ආවා. මැතිවරණේ ඉතින් ඊට පෙර තවත් විශාල සිද්ධාමයක් සිදු වුණා. ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයත් අපේ මේ පොහොට්ටුවේ අයත් එක්ක සාකච්ඡාවක් තිබුණා. ඒ සාකච්ඡාව මතක් කළ යුතුයි. අර ඒක ඔක්කොම සමගාමීව ගියේ. මොකද මේ අපේ පාස්විරිදා සිද්ධිය අප්‍රේල් 4 වෙනිදා ඒ තොරතුරු එනවා. මේ පිළිබඳව මෙහෙම සිද්ධියක් වෙන්න යනවායි කියලා. මම කාලවකවානු මතක් කරනවා නම් මොකද මේ ගැන ඔක්කොම හොයලා බලන්න ඕනේ. මොකද මේකට මොනවාද මේ පිළිබඳව ඇති වෙලා තියෙන කියන ප්‍රශ්නේ. දැන් මෙතුමා කිව්වා අපේ වර්තමාන ජනාධිපතිතුමා කිව්වා පාස්විරිදා සිද්ධියේ අත්අඩංගුවට ගත් සමහර තරුණ පිරිස් පිළිබඳව සලකා බලලා නිදහස් කරන්න පුළුවන් අය පිළිබඳව කටයුතු කරන්නයි කියලා නියෝගය දීලා තියෙනවායි කියලා. නමුත් ඒ කාලේ මතුවෙච්ච සමහර පුද්ගලයෝ පිළිබඳව දැන් කතා නැහැ. කොහේ නාමල් කුමාර කියන හාදයා? කොහෙන්දලා පාත් වුණාද දන්නේ නැහැ. මේ රටේ මේ දූෂණයේ පිළිබඳව සංවිධානයක නායකයෙක් කියාගෙන ආව නාමල් කුමාර කියලා හාදේ. පාත් වුණා කොහෙන්දලා පාත් වුණා කියලා දැන් එන කතාවක් නැහැ. ඒ වගේ එක පුද්ගලයෝ මතු වුණා. අමිත් වීරසිංහ කියලා තව පුද්ගලයෙක් මතු වුණා. විශාල කෝලාහලයක් ඇති කළා මේ දිගන සිද්ධියෙන් පස්සේ. එවෙල්ලා මේක තමයි මේ එතන මේකේ තියෙන කුමන්ත්‍රණය කොහෙද්ද? කවුද මේ සංගුණ හස්තය කවුද? කියන එක අපි පාස්විරිදා සිද්ධියෙන් පස්සේ තිබුණු ඒ ජනාධිපති කොමිසම හරහා දැන් පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ ඔන්න අපේ පුස්තකාලයේ තියෙනවා ඒ වාර්තාව. ඒ වාර්තාව මං පිටුවෙන් පුටුව කියවගෙන යනවා. හොඳ රසවත් කතා කීපයක් තියෙනවා. මේක හොයන්න ඕනේ. Aisha Jenesena, Deputy Solicitor General, she was opposed to leading the evidence of Zahran's wife. Zahran's wife's evidence is very important. Now the Attorney General Department has filed an indictment against her in the Kalmane High Court. It's very interesting to see. She is divulging a lot of information. Her evidence is very, very important for us to look at what is the hidden facts behind this whole issue. Who created this monstrous Zahran? Who was behind this? There was this Sara Pulastini case. She has gone missing. Now this Hadiya, wife of Zahran, is in her evidence before the Presidential Commission, says this Sara Pulastini never left our company. She was always there with us, wherever we traveled. From hiding place to hiding place, she was there. Then Aisha Jenesena poses a question. Now, did you observe anything strange in Sara Pulastini's room? No, I thought wherever she went, they come and fix closed-circuit cameras. The bedroom of Sara Pulastini and this Hastun, her husband, was covered by closed-circuit cameras. Who was watching their actions? She was a plant. She was a plant. She was a person who was giving information from within. Somebody from outside, some mastermind, was watching what was happening throughout. I know in her case there is a colleague of ours who appears for her. I told him there are some interesting information I have unearthed. Having read the evidence of Sara Pulastini, I have evidence of this girl, Hadiya, who is the wife. Zahran went and married a 14-year-old girl. She was a youngster. She still is a youngster, I'm sure. The way they have looked at it. And there was some intelligence operatives. When this famous video that appeared in the internet, the first person who alerted me was Professor Maitri Vikramasinghe. His Excellency the President's wife, the First Lady, she alerted me. In fact, she was also petrified when I mentioned this in the Presidential Commission. Then only I came to know and I looked at the video. Now this whole issue, now the connection with some intelligence operatives as to why they were in touch. There are two chaps called Army Mohideen and Police Faiz. Now in the evidence of Hadiya, there is reference to how this Police Faiz came to be in touch with Zahran. He goes and comments on the internet and criticizes Zahran. Suddenly he comes and lands in Sri Lanka and he befriends Zahran. Now he has become his disciple. Now there again, was there a connection? Then what about the incident in Vaunathivu? In Vaunathivu, when the jacket was discovered inside a culvert, suddenly accusation comes about LTT involvement. And there was, when they were going to arrest the suspects, then another intelligence officer goes and says, no, these are our informants, don't arrest them. Blocks the arrest. So what has been happening is something that we have to look into. In fact, we went into detail in the Parliamentary Select Committee when it was appointed. In fact, some of the officers, some of the young people on that side started criticizing our involvement in cross-examining these witnesses. Honorable Sumandran was also there. I was there. Mr. Dr. Raja Seenaratna was there. Several of us, we carefully examined. We knew there were a lot of miscommunication between different agencies of the intelligence services in the country. There was also some intrigue within them.
Honourable Member, you have 2 more minutes.
Now today in the Daily Mirror, in the middle pages, there is a big article about the Public Service Commission and the refusal to at least repay his wages. What is the Public Service Commission doing? Now these are issues we have to look at. Now let me come to this issue of a new cabinet paper has been presented. Initial cabinet nod for proposed new anti-corruption legislation. It's strange. It says the initial cabinet nod has been granted. Cabinet endorsed it as a policy decision. We don't want this to be just a policy decision. Yeah, it must come in as a law.
The President,
but the way it is reported...
No, that's not correct. It comes as a bill and then you all can consider it.
That Mr. Sarajayamana, President's Counsel, who was behind the drafting of this bill, came and explained to us the basis of the draft. There are some very important changes, and particularly we are also concerned about, in fact I asked him specifically, about the Proceeds of Crime Act. A separate Proceeds of Crime Act has to be enacted if you are to make it meaningful. So this is what has been taken up even in Geneva. I am told that Justice Kodagoda and Sarajayamana both have co-authored a concept paper regarding this. They are all people with sufficient experience in the Attorney General's department. Attorney General Department itself has been at the receiving end of a lot of criticism regarding this. And there are suggestions in that concept paper about non-conviction based confiscation. These are issues that we confronted when we looked at these issues during the last regime. So let us
Honourable Member, please wind up.
Better way to resolve these things. And
His Excellency the President.
On the criteria, so if you look at on that we will come, I'll give you what the statement was, but we agreed on the UN standards. I'll give it to you all tomorrow.
Thank you very much. So I don't have much time, sir, so I'll wind up. So I would expect the President to, I mean, we have had umpteen number of commissions, but please look at whatever commission's report and look at the possibility of appointing perhaps another commission to look at what has transpired in these things and finally to resolve this issue once and for all.
Honorable President.
The commission has not worked. It was coming from 1995 for the money spent and the number of cases put in. So we have to take a new structure, either look at the Singaporean one or look at the Hong Kong one or look at the serious frauds office in UK. It's up for, the minister will take it up, and I think you all have to study that and come back with what is the appropriate agency.
Thank you very much. That's all, Mr. Deputy Chairman.